Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Make Podcast. I'm your host, Promo, and in today's episode, we're breaking down Minor 1, breaking down the power rankings going into week 2 of qualifiers. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and let's crack on into things. So, starting off, like I called for winners round 1 or opening matches for Minor. The only one I did not get correct was Falcons versus Surge. Falcons did get the upset in the opening series. So one thing I will state about the opening 4 matches is Cloud9 needs to go away. Like, get them out of the league, get a new org in. They are so compromised physically, mentally, and player based. I know that the Challengers guys were thrown into a rather awful situation, but it's like, guys, I'm sorry, but Cloud9 should never have taken over the New York Subliners spot back in the MW2, MW3 season. So, hold on a sec, guys. Because in map 3, Cloud9 was up 5-1 in overload on exposure. 5-1. And G2, my gosh. It's like, yes, I know that they were going up against a lower tier team, but just G2 showcasing what they can do when they're down by that significant amount and going into the second half of overtime was insanity, like pure insanity. And I was just giggling seeing the comeback happen. Like, when it was a 6-5 victory in a 3-0 for G2, I was just cackling my head off. Like, you couldn't ask for a better pub stomping in a way of a challengers team of a hot 3-0 in that way, especially to seal off the match that way. And the players at Con9, it's like, I know some of them flip their cameras, but it's like, yeah, I would be pissed too if I just choked a 5-1 lead in overload. Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay, so moving on to Saturday, let's talk about Saturday. So I had everything right, all except for Jailmates versus Heretics. Let's just talk about Heretics in general. They 3-0 Breach, which I wasn't too surprised about. I thought maybe Breach might put up a fight, but nope. Yeah, Breach, you're compromised as badly as Cloud9, so sorry, not sorry. Um, so now going into the Paris versus Heretics series, I thought, okay, Paris, you guys came off a I think it was top 6 placement at Major 2. Let's see how you guys can do. And I thought, okay, come on, guys, get us to map 5. No, it was a complete takeover from Real, Metal, and it was just a complete takeover by the Miami Heretics in that series. I was just losing my marbles. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, Paris started coming alive in map 4, but it was still too little too late. It was not even close. Yeah. So, Thieves, they bopped G2 out in a pretty convincing fashion. FaZe versus Falcons, it was a pretty dominant win from FaZe. Like, FaZe is now 2-0 in this split against Falcons, which I'm not too surprised about. So it's like, okay. Thieves versus G2, I thought, okay. Yeah, Thieves deal with their they deal with team that's lower on the tier list for power ranking wise, really. Now, OpTic versus Koi. This one, I thought if Koi was able to steal certain maps in series, we might have seen a game five. But that wasn't the case. Koi, yeah, it was 2-0 lead to OpTic. Koi takes map 3, and then OpTic is pissed that they didn't get 3-0. They then go on to map 4, and holy spawn trap blender, lose your head, flip your camera, smash your controller. Like, that was a brutal, and I do mean a brutal series to watch, especially on that Scar hardpoint. It was getting ugly at some points. I was just like, oh my gosh. 50 point club them, please. I would love to see a 50-point club. Like, if we ever have a 50-point club or 25-point club this season, if it ever happens, I will literally lose my marbles. I will literally be saying, okay, they're winning champs, but that did not happen. But anyway, it was a dominant series by OpTic. And moving into Sunday, we have OpTic versus Thieves and FaZe versus Heretics. And this is where things get juicy. Thieves, they go up 2-0 against OpTic, and OpTic bounced back with a steal in map 3 and a map 4. But when it came to the search and destroys, it was a 6-2 in maps 2 and 5. And Thieves were just in the driver's seat. Like, you had. It was a Beezy's takeover. Scrap was taken over. It was just a masterclass by the two of them in the search and destroy over OpTic. And since this was a single elimination, this meant that OpTic was out of the tournament, and Thieves would go on to play whoever won between FaZe and Heretics. Now, let's talk about FaZe versus Heretics. And guys, I'm taking the minor tournament with a big pinch of salt because this is all online. This is single elimination. This is not double elimination. Like, if this was LAN, I would be saying, okay, let's have some serious conversations. But this really is just like a minor tournament. Like, I enjoyed watching it. I took things with grain of salt. So, yeah. FaZe versus Heretics. I thought we would have been able to see a map 4 because let me just pull up the stats quickly because this series definitely could have gone the way of FaZe, I believe. Let me double check breaking point quickly. Voodoo. Shoot. Hang on a sec, guys. Alright, so looking at the maps on my computer, Colossus was a 224 to 250 hardpoint win for Heretics, a 6-3 in Fringe, and a 4-3 on Det. Now, I am just going to click over to the hardpoint. Alright, so map 1, 04 is 39 and 38, Abuza's 22 and 29, Draza's 25 and 35, which you won't see a stinker map from Draza like that in consistently. And Simp is, oh my gosh, Tiny Terror Twin and Simp. Simp's 38 and 33, 04 is 38 and 04 is 39 and 38. Like, you have the SMGs popping off. The ARs definitely struggled. And over on the Heretics, you had 30 and 35 from Metals, Rancor's 32 and 28, 38 and 31 for Super, and 35 and 31 from Trakes. Yeah. It's like Oh my gosh. Stinker. Oh my gosh. And so it's like simple as having the game of his life in map one. And let me see here. Yeah, it's yeah. And in the Fringe Search and Destroy, but you literally had O4 and Simp in double neg. Bleh. O4 is quad negative. Oh my gosh. 2 and 8. Oh my gosh. Bleh. It was a super takeover map. 12 and 5. Holy. Yeah, I forgot about that. He drops a 2.4 KD on FaZe's head. Oh my gosh. And going into the Den search and destroy Den overload, um, O4 was literally having the map of his life. He was going 45 and 38. Like if he had gone plus 50, I would have lost my marbles. The only person on side for Heretics that was positive was Rancor, who put a 1.24 KD up against FaZe. Now, I also feel like FaZe, they see the minor as a way to map pool test because I feel like they wouldn't have played Heretics on certain maps. Like, I'm just curious. Is there a way I can see bans and picks? Please? Okay, I am not able to see that for some reason on here. And according to Breaking Point, FaZe was a 84 and 16 for predicting wise. So yeah, dang. Okay, yeah, overall, one thing I will note about the Den overload is that it went to a double overtime, and in that case, which we haven't seen overtime in this split before, I believe, or even a double overtime. It doesn't. So what happens is it basically the first time overtime ends, it just becomes pure sudden death. It's like whoever scores the first goal wins instead of okay, you've got to beat the other team's time to score. Like that's not happening anymore. Like it just becomes pure put the goal in and you win the map. And it was very slug. It was giant slugfests on the Den overload because you had O4 literally thrown himself at Heretics doing everything he could. Like FaZe should have won the Den, and if we had gone to Saki, who knows how Raid would have gone? Because I would have had more faith in FaZe on Saki. Because Saki and FaZe, they're very scary. I will say, like holy. Um. So yeah. Now, let's get on over to the Thieves versus Heretics series, and I'm just going to swipe on over to show you guys. Alright, so here's what the grand finals were. Saki, Fringe, Exposer, Colossus, Scar, Gridlock. So seeing here, I'm surprised they didn't put. Oh wait, Scar hardpoint, not Scar. Colossus hardpoint is. Wait, hold up, sec. Okay, I was going to say, wait, I don't see Colossus hardpoint, but it's staring right there at me in face. All right, so let's talk about LA Thieves versus Heretics. I thought, okay, this could be interesting. I definitely smelt Game 7 if it did go there. Maybe round 8 or something, just because I thought, okay, Thieves, they literally murdered OpTic on Gridlock when they faced them on Sunday. So I was like, okay, this could be a murder series. depending on how it goes, like for maps and how they play. But what can I say about the series? Thieves, they win minor one. Bravo to them. They finally get a chip on board for this year. First chip for Neum, so yeah. Bravo to him. Well done, buddy. What else? The overloads, except for exposure, were. Wait, we only. Oh, wait, sorry. The hard points were dominant out of Thieves, tells me that which speaks volumes to Thieves' hardpoint pool right now. The one map I think, well, when you look at the Fringe Search and Destroy, it's like Thieves, they beat OpTic on it when they got to advance to grand finals, but I'm not sure if you could take the Fringe too hard for the grand finals of Heretics, but Heretics to grand finals is actually pretty crazy if you honestly think about it, because who would have thought that Heretics would have gone all the way to grand finals? Like, seriously, gone to grand finals. Like, absolute insanity, really. So, yeah. Okay, let me talk about the power rankings, and that'll be the end of the video, and tomorrow we'll do pick'ems, so hang on a sec, guys. So here's how I've got the power rankings going into week 2 for Major 3, and how I think the power rankings might shape up and form up for the rest of the split. So below it up for so let me go through all tiers and explain what they all mean. Below it up means team's chalked. You need to go make some major changes. Hang on a second. Online Warriors means that they're a team online. They can compete online, but when it comes to LAN, not really convert. Confused means team's good, but chemistry's not clicking at that time. Darket Horse means team can make a run for champs, championships and stuff. So, contender is or upset teams for online qualifiers. Contenders are teams who I expect to be fighting for championships, and Sunday regulars are team I could see, well, teams that should be winning championships. So, hold on a second. Alright, so what has changed in the power rankings? Blowed up, nothing's really changed in Blowed Up. Vancouver, nothing really. G2, still Dark Horse, top contender for Dark Horse wise. Moving up to contenders, I do have Toronto, Thieves, and Heretics, with Heretics and Thieves moving up one more tier based on how they performed at minor one. It's like, yeah, it's not that serious, but based on how I've seen them play and how they've upset top tier teams, I think I can confidently move them up one more tier. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And finally, Sunday regulars, nothing really to talk about, except OpTic is looking like Vanguard phase if they can't turn the ship around. Alright guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.